What is up, everybody? Welcome back. We're on the hunt again. You are looking at 40 long boxes stacked like a freaking Jenga tower. Man, look at this collection. This is crazy. I've never seen so many long boxes in one place like this, especially not on the hunt like this. So let's see what we got. So I get the call from my buddy, and this is one of those connections that I met when I was telling you guys on a previous video. You got to make connections. You got to talk to people, reach out, and this is where it paid off. We're digging through these books, and basically he tells me that he has a friend, older gentleman. He's got multiple antique malls, and he's trying to sell these long boxes, trying to get rid of them. Well, I come running, and this is what I'm looking at here. So we're seeing some 90s stuff, some Bloodshot, Bloodsport, Cyberforce. I'm doing the best I can to like show you guys, but the books were packed in there pretty tight. So my buddy he was with me, he basically introduced me to the other guy, and the older gentleman, he was just kind of sitting there. We were talking, chatting, and I'm already kind of getting a feel of what he's expecting to get out of this, and I kind of knew beforehand, even going in. A lot of the things were not bagged and boarded, but condition was fair. Actually, better than fair. I'd say, nothing in this was like a 9.8. You can't really see even. So XO Man of War, here's the Valiant stuff. Little bit of Firestorm maybe. Here's a little bit better of an angle. These books are packed in there so tight. There's some Doc Samson. A lot of Archie, you'll see that here in a minute. Magnus, you find that. Robot Hunter, you find that in like every single 90s collection. They're always there. There's just certain titles in certain books, and like that Superman run, that's always in there. It's just a 90s type collection here. So then we get to this box, and this is all Richie Rich. Like every single book is Richie Rich. They're packed in there so tight. I'm trying to show you guys, but I should have taken a few books out of there. But here's some Turok. Every single 90s. That's your 90s collection, like, go-to. You've got Turok, Magnus. Here's some Gold Key books. Look like, just the Uncle Scrooge, Disney characters, Walt Disney. There's some ROM. There's always ROM in there. I think there might have been some like old Western books in there as well. Chip and Dale. Anyway, I'm like sweating. There's like no AC in this house. The man's got like a small fan. It's blowing barely. It's like on its last leg. And like we're in there packed tight. Like I'm trying to move around my buddy, and he's kind of standing there. And here's some Flash. This was actually a pretty decent box here. Jonah Hex. That was a good little run, little mini series. Some Justice League. Shadow of the Bat. That's always there. Dark Knight. There's like a million copies of Robin #1. More copies of Robin #1, more Shadow of the Bat. Those are actually decent books. Those are like $3 to $5 books. Daredevil and Batman. Yeah, so you can kind of get an idea, but a lot of it was bagged and boarded. There's some good Hellblazer. Love that run. If you've never read that run, that's Garth Ennis. That's awesome. More Dark Knight, a little bit of Batman, but no major Batman titles. Like the major Batman run, not there. Several duplicates. There's this Legion. I can't get away from Legion. Little Death miniseries. That's always good. Starman. A little bit more Sandman, but none of the big Sandman books. A little bit of Swamp Thing. This was a decent little box here too. And here's the more Archies. Archie and Me. Archie Riverdale High. I'm not an Archie collector. I know that some of you guys out there do that. Inform me on Archie. What Archie books are good? What should I be looking for with Archie? This is more Image stuff. Brigade. There's Excalibur, a couple Quasar books. It's just your 90s starter pack. And then we got to another pretty decent box here. There's like 1,000,000 copies of like Spider-Man. And then there's Spider-Man 2099 number 2 and then number 3, no number 1. More Superman, Adventures of Superman, Action Comics from all around that time period, Justice League Europe, X Factor. I mean, you guys, you can pretty much guess what is in every 90s collection. We missed the X-Men number 1 there. There's a couple Man-Thing books, The Thing. Those were decent books. All right, so we're back, and you can see no close-ups, no books. We didn't end up buying the collection. So, super nice guy, older gentleman, said he was in the mid to late 70s. Super nice guy. I think he owns a couple antique malls, so he's doing pretty well for himself. We did a lot of digging. I'm in there. I'm literally like sweating. There's like sweat running down the crack of my butt. I mean, probably too much information there, but it was just like the elements were against me. Like it's like a hottest day of the summer. I'm in there. There's no air conditioning in there. It's crowded. It's packed. A lot of nicks and knacks everywhere. This guy's a longtime collector, you can tell. And I got to give a shout out to my buddy that actually gave me this connection, and he's got an amazing collection. Stay tuned because we're probably going to take a sneak peek at his collection sometime. Hopefully snag a couple books off of him if we can. But this was a collection that, as you guys can see, it looked like it had been picked through. I mean, to be perfectly honest, it looked like it had been picked through. I think, as far as his comic knowledge, I mean, he definitely had some comic knowledge, but it was probably, in that 90s, 2000s probably era as far as that goes, and prices and things. I don't know. Let's talk money. So when I got there, before I got there, the texting between me and my buddy, he was the connection, the middleman. He was telling me that they were looking at like $80 to $89 per long box, or if I wanted to buy all 40 long boxes, we'd be talking about $2,500. So a pretty significant investment of not only money but space. You got to take this into consideration, and getting there and seeing, as you guys saw, many of the books not bagged and boarded. I just couldn't justify it. It just was not there. And I really wanted it to be there. I actually set aside 4 long boxes that were maybes. And then after it was all over, after I was done sweating and digging and lifting and pulling, and I mean, I threw my back out, I think about midway through, I brought the 4 long boxes back over and I dug through them again, and I found some DC Comics Presents. I don't remember if that was in the video or not. Some DC Comics Presents, a few Green Lantern books, a few decent modern books. I mean, I was really grasping at straws. I mean, there might have been a couple $10 or $15 books in there, and I was, kind of humming and hawing at the end, like, okay. I mean, I would consider giving you $40, which I thought was a more than fair offer for one of the long boxes, and it was way off base, way out of line. He was talking about maybe like $100 for a long box. So best of luck to him. I hope he sells them for $100. I don't think he realizes what the comic market is now and what those books are now worth. This is another situation where, if you were in that position in the 90s and you spent all that time, you spent all that money investing in those books in the 90s, man, you've blown it. Like you blew it. I don't know how else to say it. I hate saying it like that, but I think that happened to a lot of comic investors, and I think that's what happened. It was just like everybody was going crazy in the 90s buying these books, super high print runs, 8 million printed of X-Men #1, and you guys probably saw there was a few of them in there. It was just, it's a no-go. The deal fell through. You hate to do it, but we're on to the next one. We've got a few more tips through our connection, so I'm excited about that. We will investigate those soon. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed me digging and sorting and putting in the effort. I didn't find the keys this time, but next time we will. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If at any point in time you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you like this video, subscribe for more. Take care.